So, I wash my face, but since I have eyelash extensions on right now, I have to fluff my wings. Because you can feel the wind blow with these suckers. Well, that's just why I don't have to put mascara on, to make my life easier. I feel like I don't even have to wear lipstick when I at least have nice eyelashes going on. So, Brandon, let her rip. This is mom life right here. If you're not having your kids help you with this kind of stuff, then you're momming wrong. Oh yeah, it should be like the shape of my face. Oh, so weird. I'm afraid there's gonna be like gel dripping on my face. You're holding it right above me.
This is difficult. Okay. I'm remembering from
The Office?
No, from Hocus Pocus 2. I'm eating this. Okay.
Hocus Pocus. And I'm just thinking of Dwight ripping off the dummy's face.
Hey, Aurora.
Are you alright? I hate when that happens.
Okay, what size is
Aurora's doing her homework at the desk. Sure,
Yes.
I don't think it matters. Let me help you. Wait! Woo! Oh my god, it's cold! Oh. I look like a monster. I can't unfold this. Fix this over here. What's going on?
Sooty.
Go get us like a hand towel when you're done.
You just can tell that I'm into my face.
I feel.
Mom, stop. Gotta get it around your mouth.
Okay, it's fine. Just leave.
No,
It's too much. It's too much.
Okay. Relax.
What the heck?
Relax.
Laughing is self-care.
Relax.
Okay, go get a towel because my hands feel gross. I can't do this. There's no way I'm gonna sit here and talk on camera for 20 minutes with this thing on. Oh, I gotta cover right now.
What's wrong?
Oh my god!
You can talk like that?
It's ugly. I look ugly.
Well, I don't know why you're recording yourself doing this.
Because it's funny.
Yeah, and put it on YouTube.
Exactly. This will be a short. Hello, Clarice. It's Hannibal Lecter.
Hey, Mom.
Oh.
15 to 20 minutes.
Oh my god. 15 to 20 minutes. Oh my god. I'm so scary looking. I better look like a movie star after
Drinking
this.
water at healthy work, Brian?
I better look like a movie star after this. That's all I'm saying. If this is what they do.
We're just gonna go 18 minutes because put it on like 2 minutes ago.
You put a timer?
Yes.
Well, I could see my timer here on my clock too, but thank you. Okay.
Hey, I'll be outside.
Thank you, sir.
Good sound.
Sir Brandon, deputician. Oh my god. This is so disturbing. This is so funny. I just can't. I better go because this is just too much for me to deal with. No filter. He took the towel away. Oh my god. Oops. I need some music. Aurora, can you play some music, please?
I was listening to my study piano stuff.
Oh. I just want to hear some
You're just gonna lay there? Ow!
music. Yeah, I'm gonna lay here. This is my, ooh, dropped the trash. This is my iPad right here, actually. I could draw while I'm waiting. Oh, where's my glove at? See? Oh, I could listen to music on here. I don't think I could draw like this. I'm not Frida Kahlo. Did you know that's how Frida Kahlo would paint? She would be laying in her bed while she was all broken from her horrible accident. And there was a mirror put above her bed. And she would just look at herself and paint her pictures. And she was very honest about how she looked. Obviously, she did not skimp on the bigote, aka mustache, and she did not skimp on the unibrow. And her paintings were about her life and her brokenness and, you know, her miscarriage and things like that, or she couldn't get pregnant because all her insides were torn apart in that accident. I saw the movie Frida. It's definitely not for children. It's not saying that adults should watch such sexual movies, because sometimes our imaginations do that enough already, so we don't need to see it, to be honest. But anyway, if you take the educational parts out of the movie Frida with Penelope Cruz, it's a good movie. It's a good story. It's a crazy story about her and her art-loving husband, Diego Rivera. His artwork was a little different than hers. Pretty simple, but, you know, you don't have to be some amazing Bob Ross painting type artist that has like amazing detail and texture to be a great artist. You just have to get your stuff out there. And I feel sorry for you guys looking at me right now, because I can barely look at myself. Oh my god, look at me. Look at my eyebrows. I just, oh my god, you can see all my baby hairs. This is America's Funniest Home Videos. Do you guys remember watching that growing up? Well, people in my generation anyway. 80s and 90s with Bob Saget. Anyway, I saw another movie this week. I saw 2 movies this week. First one was on Wednesday. I took myself out. I got a chicken bowl with noodles, for dinner, and a Diet Coke, because I love Diet Coke. God, I wish I had a Diet Coke. Anyway, and then I went to see a movie. Yes, I went to see Ferrari. Had Adam Driver in there, and Penelope Cruz is his wife. He plays Enzo Ferrari. And if you haven't heard it from me before, on one of my other channels like Instagram or Facebook and even TikTok. I don't share too much on TikTok yet, but I'm working on it. I love cars mostly because they take me places fast. Sure, I can walk places. I've been without cars at various times when I was single mom, or my car's getting repaired, or being in an accident. Obviously, I've been in a couple accidents, nothing too horrific. Though one time I did get in an accident on the 57. I was 18 or 19, and I was driving a rental, and I hit the side of a one of those big car carrying big rigs with the double decker of cars. I hit it changing lanes. I turned too much and I drifted into that one, and my car was grinding against the side of the truck. It eventually spit me out and around, and then I was facing traffic on the 57 in Fullerton area, and yeah, the car stopped. I had just left work. I was selling paper. I've had lots of jobs, like I've shared, and this was like a door-to-door salesperson of paper goods. It was called Quill. It was like a subsidiary of Staples, and it was basically a multi-level marketing thing. You sell more paper, you move up, you build your team underneath you, blah blah blah. Needless to say, I did not last long there, just a couple of months. But I had a friend, his name was Garrett, and he had a truck, and he was leaving work too. And so once my car stopped spinning and I was facing traffic, I had called Garrett, and I knew that he lived in that area and that he would be not far behind me. And I called him and I said, yo, I just got in a car accident. And he's like, oh my God, was that you? He didn't laugh, but I was like, yeah, I'm facing traffic right now. So if you can just pull up and block traffic for me, that would be amazing. So he did. Eventually, the fire truck showed up, the ambulance showed up. It was the big rig and at least 2 other cars that were messed up by my idiotic driving. My daughter's laughing at me. She's learning how to drive right now. She's learning from the best. Obviously, I've been a lot better driver. I've learned to slow down. I've learned to take my time. I mean, I've had my license for, I was 17. Now I'm 39. So that's what, 22 years? 22 years. So yeah, you get better. Your car insurance goes down. But, now that I think about it, maybe that's what was triggering me watching Ferrari, the movie. There are some horrific accidents in that movie. Just really graphic Like, they do not skimp on showing people getting launched out of these race cars. But of course, it's what? Late 40s? Cars did not have good suspension or any suspension, very fixed axles. There was no, being able to sway with the road like we can now in our cars. If you hit something, boom, you're done. And these people are flying out of their car, going across the road. Another one, it was a really bad accident, and the car, which had 2 people in it, for the Miglio Mille, something like that. I learned Italian for a little bit, but I didn't learn all of it. So it was 1,000 miles, 100,000 miles. I think it was 100,000 mile race. So 2 drivers in this car hit something in the road. The car, spun out. They flew out, and it took out a bunch of people. It took them all out. The spectators that were just sitting on the side of the road. A house was nearby, so maybe they were people that lived in that house. I'm not sure. Honestly, I was on my phone for some of the movie. But I would watch, because that's what I do. I watch movies. I mostly am listening to them, and then I'm doing something else. Maybe that's my ADHD. Sometimes it's like, okay, I get the story, but I'm also thinking and working on other things. I kind of got into this mindset where I've had to tell myself, either you're going to keep watching everyone else's story, or you're going to write your own story, or you're going to live your own story. And for a person like me who really loves movies, and a lot of people who really like entertainment and just get very distracted or obsessed with watching entertainment, you forget to work on your own life story, and you're just watching someone else's. So anyways, I was doing 2 things at once. I got multiple computer screens open in my brain all the time, and I gotta learn to, click the little X in the corner and focus. So, anyway, horrific car accident. And I guess, of course, I don't know who wouldn't get triggered or horrified by seeing an accident, especially when they showed the bodies being torn apart. Oh, it's so sad. It's just gross. Because I wanted to be a doctor when I was a kid. But I remember, well, number one, I got freaked out about how much school you need to go to become a doctor. I'm Dr. Mom at home. Anyway, lots of school. My friend's mom was a doctor, and she was never home. My friends were basically raised by babysitters. Of course, just their birthday parties and stuff, the parents would be there. But on a day-to-day, they had live-in nannies. I did interview my friend's mom, the doctor, who inspired the doctor for my book, Ran the Arrival. And I interviewed her just to talk about, I wanted to hear about her life story, because that's what I do. I interview my family members, and I get their life stories, and then I use that for inspiration for my book. I change names, dates, all of that, so that everyone can have their privacy and we get their family story documented. And so yeah, I interviewed her. I heard her about her childhood, and she had told me that her daughters had taken them to pizza or something. They were little and they went to pizza. Obviously the kids aren't driving, but they went to pizza and they told their mom, they sat her down and said basically, Mom, we do not ever want to become doctors, so don't think we're going to become doctors. And she was understanding. She was like, okay with it. No, she said, no, you don't have to be doctors. And none of them are doctors, but they're all very smart and very good at their jobs and things that they've done with their college degrees or, basic college education. And it's almost time to take off the mask. Let's see. It's time for surgery. Speaking of doctors, here we go. Here we go. Ooh, I'm shiny again. Where did that piece of trash go? Okay, I got it. So, they told her that they don't want to be doctors. And they didn't, and I interviewed her. So anyway, back to the graphicness of that movie. My son's giving me the look like I took that off too soon. It's enough. A friend of mine, her little brother had climbed over a fence, a chain link fence, and his leg, his inner thigh, got snagged on the chain link fence, and it ripped. It cut his thigh open. Oof. I saw little fatty cells. So gross to talk about. I'll try not to get too detailed, but anyway, there's little fatty cells. I'm telling you, when you see this stuff, it just like gets burned into your brain. And the mother had just gotten shoulder surgery. She was an x-ray technician. So she couldn't carry her son, and he was little. I don't know how old he was, like 6 or 7, I want to say. And I was a teenager, and I said I would carry her son, because I've always been a fairly strong person. Very athletic. But, so I said I would carry him. And I carried him, to the hospital. Someone put a bandage over his leg. And that was like, ooh, to watch. But once they had taken him to get the stitches, and I put him on the bed for her, I was still there, and they started stitching, and I saw them tugging at the skin. I did not like the way that looked. I felt like fainting, and I was like, whoa. And they were like, are you okay? Do you need to go? I'm like, yeah, I think I need to go. I don't think I can watch this. So, but what I've learned now from studying about doctors and women who become doctors for my book, because I had to do a lot of studying for this book. I'm always learning, and I'm very interested in learning new things, and things that interest me, obviously. But that it is something that you can build up a tolerance for, and your sensitivity eventually goes down. So it becomes less gross for you to see. But I don't know. I guess my interests more are not so much about like physical injuries, but mental injuries, mental roadblocks, mental health, learning about self-control and mental disorders, because I was, diagnosed with anxiety and depression when I was a teenager. And being a teenager is really hard at times. You're going through a lot of different changes and growth spurts, physically, mentally. You're getting ready to become an adult, because you want to become an adult in time, when the time is right, not rush to be an adult like me. Anyway, yeah, so I had those diagnoses on me when I was a teenager, and something that came up as I just got my book into a new store in Apple Valley on Saturday, Inspired Gift Shop in Apple Valley. My friend, she's a teacher up there, and she shared with me that I can't remember if it was one of her students or just a student at the school. It's a small school, it's high school. The students are working on translating my book in her class into Spanish, so we're gonna have Ren the Arrival in Espanol. But anyway, it's a smaller school, and a student committed suicide this past week, I guess, over the holiday break. And that was just so sad to hear. And it triggered my memories of when I was a teenager. And as I've shared before, that I call myself the Ink Crusader, because I fight with my writing and I write in pen. I'm a writer, and that's the way I communicate usually. And one time when I was a teenager, I was probably at least 15 years old, I wrote a letter to my parents telling them that I had suicidal thoughts. I had thoughts about hurting myself. And I wrote it in a letter. I just told them that I felt like worthless, like I could never do enough, this and that. And my parents always told me that they were proud of me, but in my brain, I just, being the oldest and putting a lot of pressure on myself to always, excel and get good grades. And if I wasn't achieving, then, I just felt like nothing, So I had written them a letter telling them that, I was having those feelings. They got me into therapy. I had a therapist. I also saw a psychologist that wanted me to take some medication, and I refused. I took it for like a month or two, but once I heard them tell me that I was gonna have to get blood tests because it could destroy my liver, I was like, no, I'm not taking that. I'll just have to figure it out myself. And I did. I'm not giving you any kind of advice like that you shouldn't do that. I think medicine has gotten better since then. And if that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do. I didn't. But yeah, sharing with my parents that I was having those thoughts, they got me a therapist. But the one thing that they had told me that resonated with me and I carried with me basically for the rest of my life, and something I still reflect on, is that they said if you did that to yourself, if you ended your life What is that going to teach your younger brother and sister or your younger cousins to do? And that made me think like, oh yeah, that I would be teaching them to, you know, give up on life just like that. And I did not like that. I did not like that thought at all. So if anything, that's what we have to do. We have to think long term. We got to think bigger picture. Because that's what God does. He looks big picture. He knows the big picture. And even when I'm deciding to, you know, do certain things with my life, like pursuing this dream of being an author and an artist, that's just something that I felt like I needed to do to be an example to my children. You know, I wanted to be seen as someone more than a woman, more than a woman to me. That's the Bee Gees. More than a woman. Women are great. Women, you know, run the house. Not saying that men don't. Some do. But I'm talking about women right now. More than a mother. More than a sister. More than a friend. I wanted to be known for something more. An author. Authors are awesome. I love authors. They write great stories and books that become movies. And I want to be known as someone like that, and an artist. And I figure if I'm trying to encourage my children to, you know, pursue their best life, and I wasn't pursuing my best life, then what kind of person, an example would I be? You know, just talking the talk, but you're not walking the walk. And that's a big thing that I you know, whatever. It resonates with me. I don't want to be just a crap talker. I want to be a doer. So that's what I'm doing. As I'm learning to do this self-care and relax and slow down. So this video has gotten a little long, but I had that important message to share, and I hope that if you are ever having thoughts of suicide or hurting yourself, that you reach out to somebody. There is, you know, hotlines. You know, I hope everyone has a friend that's willing to listen to them, and I hope that we can all be a friend that would be willing to listen when someone is struggling, and listen, not try to like give them solutions, but just listen. And I mean, sometimes we could just say at the end, like, can I tell you something? If it's something that you've dealt with and you can share some wisdom with them, do it. But never try to tell them that what they're feeling is not real or important or insignificant, because you don't know how they're feeling and you don't know how hard it is on them. So that's my crazy talk for today. Crazy car crashes, self-care, Hannibal Lecter, death, suicide. Life is beautiful, and whatever choices that you have made previously in your life do not have to be the rest of your life. You can change the rest of your life. You can ask yourself these 3 questions that I ask myself. Who are you? Who do you want to be? And what did you do today to get there? So the way I would answer that is, who am I? Say, I am a mother. I am an author. I am an artist. And I am an advocate. As I'm sharing these stories with you, I'm advocating for mental health. So that's who I am. Who do I want to be? Well, I want to be those things, but a little more well known. I want to make big impact on a lot of people. So that's who I want to be. Just more of what I already am. And what did I do today to get there? I shared this message with you. I advocated for mental health. I shared about my book, and you can get it on Amazon. You can get it, on my website, theinkcrusader.com. The Ink, I-N-K, crusader.com/store, and then you'll find it there. And when you buy my book, you're supporting not only my little dreams here, or big dreams, whatever you want to call them, my children's dreams, the nonprofits that I serve and help with, and my community, because I love small businesses and supporting small businesses and supporting pop-ups, micro businesses, your support helps do all those things. Just buying a book. So, I hope you guys learned something from this video. I hope you have a great night. I hope you're taking care of yourselves, remembering to eat good, and remembering to relax. Remember to think big picture, bigger than tomorrow, bigger than the week, but not too big. Don't overwhelm yourself, but think about long-term goals, especially for New Year's. And any day, you can always start a resolution. And then maybe you'll start a revolution in a good way. Okay, well, you guys have a good night. It's, I don't know, maybe 6:30. It's time to make dinner or take these kids to dinner, since we're staying in a hotel this week while we're waiting for our rental to become available. So anyways, have a good night. Mom talk is over.